Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Jewett kitchen. And today I just want to go through my pre-workout routine that I do for my pre-workout meal and my pre-workout sups. For me, right now I'm on contest prep, so most important things like going and training are definitely making sure I'm adequately hydrated, and I'm also fueled top like reserve-wise, so I'll have adequate glycogen levels. Making sure like I do get some carbohydrates pre-training, but also I get plenty of fluids and plenty of sodium, because those three together are what really going to give you the best performance and pump. And within my pre-workout meal, since I am on prep, I do have to think about hunger management as well. And so this meal I do, for one, I really enjoy it because it tastes great. It's kind of a protein oatmeal cake that I make, which it seems a little bit involved. I have the time to do it, and I want to enjoy my food while I'm on prep. So with this, I have all my dry ingredients that I mix together first. So I do 70 grams of oat powder, and I blend it up in our Ninja, because the oat powder will rise a little bit better with a teaspoon of baking soda along with it. That's what gives it more of its volume and cake base, which with baking soda, baking powder, you're just really adding in a little bit extra sodium, but it's not that much. Then with that, I'll also do 50 grams of animal whey, which I'm doing the frosted cinnamon bun right now, which it goes really well with this kind of cake structure, but you can do really any flavor. We've done vanilla, brownie batter, strawberry. They all work well to make these different type of cakes. And I'll also add 2 packs of stevia, because with all the fluids in there, it kind of dilutes some of the flavors, so it gives some extra sweetness. I'll add an 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and then we'll add in some of the wet ingredients. So I do 30 grams of pumpkin. For one, I have some extra fiber in place, but pumpkin gives some moisture and some volume to it. I'll do 20 grams of egg white, which helps stabilize the kind of the cake structure, and then also 80 grams of almond milk. For one, it just gives it a little bit more moisture, creaminess to it, and then the rest I'll mix with water, and I mix it till it's fairly thin. I'd say like a light kind of pancake batter consistency. And I'll also add in then some different flavoring extracts, which, man, there's a whole list of different ones that you could add in based on what you like. For frosted cinnamon bun, I'll add in a half teaspoon of caramel and half a teaspoon of maple, which goes really well with it. And then I'll just whisk that all together and let it sit for about 5 minutes, and it'll thicken up while it's sitting. And then while I'm doing that, I'll start getting my pre-workout together. And for my pre-workout, I'm doing Animal Pump Pro right now, and I'll do 2 scoops of Animal Pump Pro, which with Animal Pump Pro, I'm mainly using just to make sure I have all the primary ingredients that I want in place for adequate performance. So, and hydration. So a big one is going to be creatine monohydrate. Excellent for intracellular hydration, but also giving you some quick creatine phosphate for ATP production, force production. Also has citrulline in it, which we're using pure citrulline now, so it's not citrulline malate. Normally you need 68 grams of citrulline malate. With pure citrulline, you would just need to do like 4 grams. And then also using some nitrosamine for a more highly absorbable arginine source to produce nitric oxide for pumps. We also have some extra stuff in there for nootropic and focus. So L-tyrosine and huperzine and alpha GPC. And so this is like your non-stimulant based product to give you that extra focus. And there is some glycerol added into, which glycerol helps attract water. So it just further enhances that pump. Now, I'm on prep, so I do need some extra kick. So I'll also add in 1 scoop of Fury to it, which Fury has 350 milligrams of caffeine. So I like having both on hand, so I have the option of no caffeine or with caffeine. Of course, with this, I'm also adding in extra citrulline, so now I get up like almost to 8 grams of pure like L-citrulline. It does also have some beta alanine in there, so with more like if you're doing more muscular endurance based resistance training or have cardio in place, it can help buffer some of the lactic acid. And then has a little bit extra L-tyrosine. But the main thing here for me is getting a good caffeine boost with it. And then also I add in half a teaspoon of sea salt, which Pump Pro already has some sea salt in it. For flavoring purposes, we didn't want to add that much salt in, but on prep, that extra sodium boost, for one, it definitely helps with hydration and give you some extra improvements in pump and contraction when you are feeling a little bit flatter and kind of losing that connection. So once I have that together, I'll stick it in my freezer, and then I'll cook my cake. And so 3 minutes in the microwave, it'll start to rise. You kind of have to watch it. You might need to let it take it out and sit for a second. You might go another 30 seconds, but you can keep cooking it to what you like. So this is my pre-workout meal. Yeah, it's about 50 grams of carbohydrates, about 40 grams of protein, and there's no fats added. So it's just trace fats of what you're adding in from the oats, which you're getting roughly 5 grams of fats from the oats. And for me, I like the fiber in place while I'm training because I'll have about 60 minutes before I get to the gym once I eat this, and then I'll be in the gym for about an hour and a half or so. So that fiber kind of slows down the absorption of carbohydrate and gives me a little bit more sustained energy. Also, I'm not getting hungry during training, and so I don't see any impedance having that amount of fiber in place. Another way you could do it would be adding fats in here if you do train better with some fats and having some way to replenish intramuscular triglyceride stores. But for me, I've done really well on higher carbohydrates and lower fats. And so that's why I just really limit fats, and that's in keeping calories low by that way. So get this meal down, and then on the way to the gym, I'll drink my Pump Pro, and I have that in about a full shaker bottle of it, because that's so important if you're wanting like good pumps and just training performances in general is hydration, especially for those that are training fasted and you're not getting a lot of food in before training. You go first thing in the morning. Hydration, like a 1 to 2% drop in total body water can drastically affect muscle production force. So just getting enough fluid in is important. So right when I would wake up, I'd make sure you could get in at least 30 ounces of fluid, then have your pre-workout on the way to the gym, and I'll do a full shaker bottle. So it's about 25 ounces of fluid while I'm heading to the gym, and then get into my session. So that's been my on prep, my pre-workout meal, and my routine, and my pre-workout supplementation that I do before training. So try it out, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Enjoy, and we'll talk to you next time.
BP Muscle ตัวแทนนำเข้าและจัดจำหน่ายผลิตภัณฑ์อาหารเสริมแบรนด์ Animal และ Universal รวมไปถึงอุปกรณ์ฟิตเนสแบรนด์ Grizzly อย่างเป็นทางการแต่เพียงผู้เดียว